Okay, guys, here is the bell ringers for the second 9 weeks for the Common Quarterly Assessment Review. I'm going to go through every one of them on your paper so that you guys know what to do. So here we go. The first one says to go ahead and to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form using the slope and the y-intercept and graph it. So that means what you're going to do is solve for y. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides. So I have negative 3y is equal to 4x plus 24. Divide each and every term by negative 3. Y is equal to negative 4/3 x minus 8. This is your equation. What this means is my slope is going to be negative 4/3. I'm going to go up 4 to the left 3. And my y-intercept is going to be the ordered pair 0, negative 8. So if I were to graph this thing, I'm going to start down here at negative 8. And then I'm going to rise up 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go to the left 1, 2, 3 units, and that's going to put me here. So there is my line. Number 2, write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form given the information, and then graph it. So I'm going to go ahead and have y is equal to mx plus b. This is x and this is y. So I have negative 2 is equal to 2 times negative 3 plus b. So negative 2 is equal to negative 6 plus b. Add 6 over. 4 is equal to b. So your equation is y is equal to 2x plus 4. This concludes that your slope is going to be 2 over 1 up 2 to the right 1. And your b value or y-intercept is 0, 4. So I'm going to start at 0, 4. And I'm going to go up 2 units and to the right 1. There's my line. The next one says to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Well, since it's a vertical line, if we go back to this concept right here, a vertical line is going to be x equals a number. And the number it's going to be equal to is 1, 2, 3, negative 4. So x is equal to negative 4. Done. So right here, write the equation of the line again. So just like any other time, we're going to find this point. So this point is going to be the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the point 0, negative 7. So that implies that b is negative 7. So now I need to find the slope. So I'm just going to go ahead and find another point that I know crosses in the crosshairs. And I'm going to do rise over run. So I'm going to rise up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the slope of the line is positive according to this right here. It's a positive slope line. So I'm going to run over 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right. So therefore my equation is y is equal to 5 over 4x plus negative 7. Done. Okay, that brings me to the next one. Evaluate the function for the given value of 0. So I want to go ahead and do f at negative 4. So this is a piecewise function, and I need to find out where does negative 4 fit in. Is negative 4 going to be here? Is negative 4 less than or equal to 0? Or is negative 4 greater than or equal to 0? It's not that one, so I'm going to be using the 2x minus the 10. And I'm simply going to plug and chug. 2 times negative 4 minus the 10. Negative 8 minus the 10 gives you a negative 18. So my ordered pair is going to be negative 4, negative 18. Do it again. I'm going to replace 0 with 0, or x with 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 0, or is 0 greater than or equal to greater than 0? It's still going to be utilizing the 2x minus the 10, so this is going to be 2 times 0 minus 10 to give you negative 10 for the ordered pair to be 0, negative 10. Then I'm going to do f at 3. Again, I'm going to come back over here and replace x with 3. This is not true this time. 3 is greater than 0, so I'm going to be utilizing the x squared plus the x minus the 2. So that's going to be a 3 squared plus a 3 minus a 2. 9 plus 3 minus 2. 12 minus 2 gives you a 10. So I have the ordered pair 3, 10. Okay. Brings us to the next one. Determine whether y varies directly as x. If you recall, you had to take and divide y by x. So 8 divided by 16 is going to give you 1/2. 18 divided by 36 gives you 1/2. 19 divided by 38 gives you 1/2. Because all of these match, yes, y does vary directly with x. And what is the constant of variation? It is 1/2 is your k value. And what is the function rule? That's going to be y is equal to kx, which would imply that y is equal to 1/2 x. Okay, so again, same concept. I'm going to take y over x. So 8 over 3, 10 over 4 reduces down to 5 over 2. Because these immediately do not match, this is no, it does not vary directly with x. And what is the constant variation? I don't have one. And therefore, what is the function rule? Again, none. Okay, so moving right along here, it says find the missing value given the following information if y varies directly with x. So this is what you had was y1 over x1 is equal to y2 over x2. So the very first thing I'm going to do is put this in an ordered pair, 8, 5, and then find x when y is 2. So you're just going to simply plug and chug. 5 over 8 is equal to 2 over x. And then we cross multiply. 5x is equal to 16. Divide by 5. X is equal to 16 over 5. Okay, brings us to the next one. It says define the domain. The domain is this. The range, it says for every year, find the domain in the range. This is the range. Okay, so we find the domain in the range of the following set of data. Write your answer as a list and use braces. Translation, what I want to see is bars. So 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. Then my range is 24, 36, 21, 38, 29. Okay. Oh, one more thing. That's it. Never mind. Okay. Next, determine if the following are functions. And to determine if something is a function, you are simply going to ask if the x value is repeated. So 6, 8, 7, -2. My x values did not repeat, so yes, this is a function. Again, 2 goes to 5, 4 goes to 4, 6 goes to 5, 8 goes to 7, and 10 goes to 6. Since there's only one arrow per an x value, this is a function. So yes, that is a function. Okay. Next, determine if the following are functions. This just doesn't pass the vertical line test. So if I draw a line through this multiple times, since it only crosses one time, yes, this is a function. However, if I go down like this on number 2, it crosses more than one time, so therefore, no, this is not a function. Okay. Next, the given equation of f of x is equal to negative 3,212.208 x plus 32,764.60, where the value of the car is f of x and x represents a year where x equals 0 represents 2000. The value is negative 0.9953 for your R value. What type of correlation is this? Well, because it is positive and because it is negative and very close to -1, this is going to be a strong negative correlation. And then what is the value of the car in 2000? So what you actually have to do in this problem is you have to plug and chug. So in this problem, what you're going to do is you're going to do f at 0. So you're going to have negative 3218.20 times 0 plus 32764.60. That goes away, so the value is going to be this right here. So in 2000, the value of the car was worth $32,764.60. But then what is the value in 2008? Well, that's going to do f at 8. So that's negative 33,218.20 times 8 plus 32,764.60. And if you plug that in to your calculator, you will get $7,019 even. Okay. Next, it says to graph the following absolute value equation and inequality, identify A and HK. So the very first thing I need you to do is know that my A value is going to be -2/3, which means that this is going to be a mountain with a maximum value, okay? And my A value is going to be 2/3, which means I'm going to go down 2 and left and right 3. My H is found by taking x plus 1 is equal to 0, so x is equal to -1. My K is understood to be -5. So my vertex of this graph is going to be the point -1, -5. So I come over here to -1, -5, and there's my point. And that is my maximum value. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go down 2 units, and to the left 3 units, and to the right 3 units. And that is going to be your graph. So if that is my graph of it, I have to ask myself before I draw that line, what is my inequality symbol? My inequality symbol is going to be greater than. So since it's greater than means I'm going to have a dotted line, and I'm going to shade above. So I'm simply going to connect those with a dotted line. And the shading that I want is all above it. So that is the answer to that problem there. Okay? That brings me to the next one. It says you have the first 5 minutes, solve the following systems of equations using either elimination or substitution. It doesn't matter which one. Whenever we do elimination, we like to line them up and make sure that they are lined up. The x's are lined up, the y's are lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and do my least common multiples of my x's. And that's plus or minus 6 of my y's. That's plus or minus 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to choose the 5s. The top one already has a 5y, so I need to turn the bottom one into a -5y. However, it already has a negative there, so all I have to do is multiply by 5. I drop down the top equation. I distribute the bottom equation. And then I'm going to add straight down. 17x is equal to a 68. Okay. Then from there, I'm going to solve for x. And x is going to equal 4. 68 divided by 17 is 4. So now all I'm going to do is choose one of the equations, and I'm going to choose the bottom equation. And I'm going to plug and chug what I know. 3 times 4 minus y is equal to 10. 12 minus y is equal to 10. Subtract the 12. Negative y is equal to -2, so y is equal to +2. So my point of intersection is 4, 2. It says to go ahead and to determine the inequality lines that create the shaded region. So I have some work I have to do here. I need to figure out what lines are necessary for me to cut out region 1. Well, to cut out region 1, it's those lines right there. Sorry. I'm using these lines right here, the blue lines. So if those are the blue lines, I need to come up with the equations. Well, this is my x-axis right here. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is y is equal to 7. And then this is a vertical line at 1, 2, 3. So that's x equals 3. Okay. Well, then I need to find the equation of this line. The equation of the last line, it crosses right here. So if it crosses right here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be 0.0, -4, +4. And also over here. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 units of a rise. And then my run is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have a slope of 1. Okay, so this equation is going to be y is equal to x minus or plus 4. So my inequality symbol is I'm going to use those three lines. And for this line right here of y equals 7, it is a solid line and it's shaded below, so that's less than or equal to. For x equals 3, it is a dotted line and shaded to the right, so that's strictly greater than. And for the last one, y is equal to x, it is a solid line, so it is and it's shaded above it, so that's greater than or equal to. So that is your system that you are using for that. Same exact concept, and I do believe they are exactly the same lines. They are. So I'm going to have y equals 7. I'm going to have x equals 3. And I'm going to have y is equal to x plus 4. So those are my 4 lines, except for now, or my 3 lines. I need to have this line, and this one. So it's the same 3 lines. The shading region for number 2 is actually below y equals 7 and it's solid, so that's less than or equal to. It's to the left this time, so that's going to be less than. The struggle is real today, guys. And then y is equal to x plus 4. That's going to be a solid line and the shading's above it, so that's greater than or equal to. Okay, so this brings me to our next one right here, and that's going to be solved using the system. So this time I'm going to use substitution because I already have y is equal to 5x. So if I have 5x minus 3 times 5x, I'm simply making a substitution is equal to 0. So 15x minus 15x is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0. Since that is a true statement, you have x's on the x comma y such that 15x minus 3y is equal to 0 is your solution. Okay, the next one is I'm going to use elimination again, and that is going to be plus or minus 6 for my x's, and for my y's it's going to be plus or minus 4. So I'm going to choose the smaller one and choose this. So I already have a positive 4, so I need to change my top one to a negative 4, so I'm going to multiply by negative 2. So that's negative 6x minus 4y is equal to 0. 6x plus 4y is equal to 8. Those all cancel out, and I have 0 is equal to 8. That is a false statement, so there is no point of intersection. Same exact concept here, except for I'm going to bring this 3x back over. So this is going to be positive 3x plus 2y is equal to 8. Drop down the second equation unchanged. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my least common multiples of my x's. So that's plus or minus 15, and then for my y's, it's plus or minus 6. So I'm going to go ahead and do my y's. Keeping in mind, I already have a 6y there, so I'm going to multiply the top one by a negative 3. Negative 9x minus 6y is equal to negative 24. 5x plus 6y is equal to 40. And I'm going to add straight down. Negative 4x is equal to 40 take away 24 is going to be, just making sure I don't mess up my math today, x is equal to negative 4. So I'm going to plug and chug. So I have 2y is equal to 8 minus 3x. So 2y is equal to 8 minus 3 times a negative 4. So that's 2y is equal to 8 plus 12. 2y is equal to 20. Y is equal to 10. So my point of intersection is negative 4, 10. Brings me to the next one here. Hold on a second. Okay, what's going to happen here is it says the test has 20 questions worth 100 points. The test consists of true and false and worth 3 points and multiple choice worth 11 points each. How many multiple choice questions are there on the test? So x is going to equal your true and false, and y is going to equal your multiple choice. So I have a total of 100 points on the test. So each one of them is worth so much. So my true and false are worth 3 points, and then my multiple choice are worth 11 points, and that's going to give me a total of 100 points. However, there are 20 questions on the test, so my multiple choice and my true and false together have to add to give me 20. And from there, you're going to go ahead and solve for this. And I'm going to multiply the bottom one by -3. So 3x plus 11y is equal to 100. -3x minus 3y is equal to -60. Those cancel out. This is going to give you an 8y is equal to a 40. So y is equal to 5. So that means I'm going to have 5 multiple choice, right? So if x plus y is equal to 20, x plus 5 is equal to 20. So that leaves 15 true and false. And multiple choice is going to be 5. Okay, so the next one that we have here, sorry that I keep going back and forth, but I have some things I had to do here. Okay, it says graph the solution to each system of inequalities. Make sure you remember to shade. So if I'm doing this problem right here, then immediately what I need to know out of this is going to be that y is less than 1/2 x plus 2. That means my slope is going to be 1/2. My y-intercept is going to be the point 0, 2. I'm going to have a dotted line, and I'm going to shade below. So if I go ahead and I pull up my graph paper here, maybe. And if I have my graph paper out here and I graph this, I'm going to go ahead and graph the point 0, 2. And I'm going to go up 1, and then to the right 2, up 1 and to the right 2. So that I'm going to connect that with a dotted line. And I'm going to shade below that. So now I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to do the other one. So y is less than 2x minus 3. That means my slope is going to be 2/1. That's up 2 and to the right 1. And my b value is going to be 0, -3. It is going to be a dotted line as well. And the shading is going to be below. So I'm going to go ahead and graph 0, -3. I'm going to go up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1. I'm going to connect that with a dotted line. And I'm going to shade that below it as well. So therefore, the place that I'm going to actually intersect is going to be this region right here. Okay? Next, same exact concept. I'm going to go ahead and graph y is greater than or equal to -5x plus 3. That means my slope is -5/1. That means I'm going to go up 5, and I'm going to go to the left 1. My y-intercept is going to be the point 0, 3. And I'm going to have a solid line this time because it's greater than or equal to, and I'm going to shade above. So if I go ahead and put that over here, I'm going to go ahead and graph this. I'm going to graph the point 0, 3. Puts me here, and I'm going to go up 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the left 1. And that's going to be with a solid line. And the shading for that is going to be above it. So this is above. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and graph y is greater than -2. That is a horizontal line at -2, and it's going to be a dotted line. And the shading is going to be above it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and make a dotted line at -2. That puts me right there, and I'm going to have the shading be above that. So where do I intersect and I cross? It's going to be right in this region right here. Next, same concept. I'm going to have x is greater than or equal to -7. This is a vertical line. It's going to be solid, and it's going to be shaded to the right because that means above. So I'm going to go ahead and have a solid line at -7. That's what I'm going to have. I'm going to have the shading to the right. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to graph the other one. The other one was going to be y is greater than or equal to 8. So if y is greater than or equal to 8, that's going to be a horizontal line, and it's going to be solid, and it's going to be above. So I'm going to have a horizontal line at 8, and that is going to be shaded above. That is a terrible horizontal line. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to shade that above. So as you can tell, the region that I'm looking at is going to be right here. Okay, next, determine the cubic function that is obtained from the parent function y equals x cubed. So how do we go about doing that? I'm going to take y equals x cubed, and I'm going to vertical stretch by a factor of 4, so that's going to be 4x cubed. Then I'm going to reflect it across the x-axis. So if I'm reflecting across the x-axis, that means I'm going to multiply everything by a negative. And then I'm going to have a vertical translation up 2 units, so that's going to be +2. And then I'm going to have a horizontal translation of 3 units to the left. So that means I'm going to add the parentheses, and that's going to be +3 cubed +2. That's what we're looking at. Same concept, determine the cubic function that is obtained from the parent function y equals x, the absolute value of x. And I want to have a vertical compression of 2/3. So that's going to be 2/3 times the absolute value of x. Then I'm going to have a reflection across the x-axis. So if I'm across the x-axis, the 2/3 becomes negative. Then if I have a vertical translation up 5, that means I'm going to simply add 5 units to this. And then I'm going to be up 6 units. Okay, so we're going to go up 6 units. So that means, or to the right, that means we're going to go ahead and add that inside the absolute value bars. And so if you're going to the right, we're going to actually subtract the 6 and then +5, and that one is your answer. Okay, how many more do we have? Just a few more. So f of x equals -3/7 x plus 8 squared plus 8 is to find the vertex. That's going to be the h and the k. So in this case, it's going to be axis of symmetry, x plus 8 is equal to 0. So x is equal to -8. This is your h value. And then if I want the k is the other 8 at the end, which is this one right here. And if we want the axis of symmetry, it is simply going to be x equals -8. So that is going to be number 2. Number 1 is going to be hk, which is going to be the -8, +8. And then it says, is it a maximum or minimum? Well, that is going to be found by looking at this negative right here. So since it's negative, that means we're going to have a mountain, which means I have a maximum valley or maximum point. Find the range of the function in the interval. So if it's going to look like opening down at -8 to +8, and it's opening down, the range is going to be going from bottom to top. If we go from the very bottom, it intersects it at -infinity, and it's going to go all the way and max out at the top of 8, and it's going to include 8. That's going to be one that you guys are probably going to struggle with on the test. Try your hardest. If you don't get it, move on to the next one. Okay, the last, this is not on the test. Do not do that. Next, you have determined the domain and the range. Domain, as soon as you see this, you want to go ahead and circle the arrows. Arrows mean infinity signs. So since they're infinity, as you're chugging along here on the x-axis, it runs in at -infinity. infinity. So set notation is x's and with the reals. There are no domain restrictions. However, range, that means you're starting here at the bottom. And when do I first run into that? I run into that at -1, and it can be equal to because there's a point there, and the arrows mean that it goes on forever. So it's infinity. So that means y is an L with the reals, and negative y is, greater than or equal to -1. And the last one, domain. We did this one in class. This was actually a worksheet problem. So as you're chugging along on this x-axis, where do I first run into the graph? I run into it at 0. So the value is 0. And where do I stop running into it? +2. So this is going to be x's and with the reals. And 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 2. And then my range, I'm chugging along on the y. I'm going to run into it at -2. And I'm going to stop running into it at +2. So again, set notation, y is an L with the reals because it's the range, and it's trapped between +2 and -2. Common Quarterly Assessment test will be this week. Extra credit if you get it all done.